Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Two Guys Talking podcast on the Sloppdawgs podcast network. This is still going to be volume 1, but we are going to make a drastic change to the formatting of what we do today.
Yes, it's going to be nonstop talking about dicks all the time. So
Good way
prepare
to
yourself for
It's
that.
a good way to bring us back to we're being serious about
we're
this
going
now.
back. We're going back to our roots.
Our roots is dicks.
Yes, dick jokes, dick feelings.
Mm-hmm. That's
Dick
not
Cheney. Dick Cheney.
That's not what
Big.
dick feelings.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to elaborate on dick feelings. I was gonna get into what it really was, but you said dick feelings, and now I wanna dig a little deeper into what a dick feeling is. Do you mean like a feeling in your dick, or the dick has a feeling?
The dick has both, really, actually.
Jesus. And I thought talking about how to structure this a little bit better would make us, concentrate and focus.
No, not at all.
It has done the opposite.
Anyway, but seriously, folks.
So I'm still Josh. That's still Jesse.
Hi.
Jesse's obsessed, obviously, with the male genitalia, clearly.
Love it.
What we're going to do is we're going to make I don't want to say slight change, a pretty drastic change. It's slight in the sense of we have talked about stuff like this before.
Yeah,
but now we're just going to hone in a little bit.
we came to Jesus.
We came to Jesus.
Which is ironic after the last podcast we had.
Yeah, it is ironic. It is absolutely ironic.
But, yeah, we just decided we're going to change around, figure out what is Two Guys Talking podcast about. Is it just two guys rambling on about controversial shit for the sake of being controversial, or are we going to get into the meat of things?
Right, are we actually going to say something of value? And our hope is that we maybe
The answer is no.
We maybe start saying something around value, but
Yeah.
not really value.
I wouldn't say anything we have to say is super valuable, but
Right.
maybe
Right.
like the claw game worthy.
Yeah, not claw game worthy story. That's probably
Yeah.
the best story we've ever had on this show.
Okay.
Was my claw game story.
Was that on the podcast?
Yeah. You don't remember?
I mean, I remember the story. I just wasn't sure if it was off.
No, it was on the podcast. I listened to it. See, this is the problem we have here, Jesse. Is you don't ever listen to your own shit.
I see. I do. I listen to it randomly. I just haven't listened to the last one.
Every single time I post this, so let's say today's Wednesday. If I get this posted by Thursday, which probably won't happen, but if I get this posted by Thursday, I immediately listen to this thing, the whole thing, front to back.
Well, I'm glad you have such time on your hands, Josh.
Yeah, well, there's things I should be doing, like caring for my house, or caring for my dog or wife.
Priorities.
And I prioritize them in the proper manner where I listen to my own podcast. That is netting me $0.00.
Soon, Josh. The money's coming.
We're going to monetize the shit out of this.
Yes. Anyway.
How we're going to do that is by focusing in on being a little bit more structured in the sense of what we're going to talk about. So, like Jesse said, is Two Guys Talking podcast about two guys talking about random bullshit, or is it two guys talking about specific random bullshit?
Yes. And we've decided to go with specific random bullshit.
Specific random bullshit. In fact, look for a shirt coming out soon that says Two Guys Talking podcast, specific random bullshit.
Exactly, yes. This is the thing that I am aware that is happening.
That we talked about.
That we totally
Before now.
talked about before this moment.
Yep.
It's happening.
Uh-huh. If it's it's on the internet somewhere, which, by the way, how's that internet page coming?
Oh, it's coming. Just much like the dragons in Game of Thrones. No, I do. I figured out a good provider.
A good hosting site?
Yeah, I found out a good hosting site. It's relatively inexpensive, and
Run by Serbians.
I don't know if it's run by Serbians or not. I mean,
Let's check into it. We need to make sure only Serbians
in
are
a
running
perfect
it.
world, it would be, but we'll
Oh.
have to double check.
So, 4.5 minutes in, let's tell you what our actual thought
Yes.
process is. So the change won't be we have one topic and we just kind of rail on it forever. The topic is going to be overall and broad and arching. Is going to be current events. Current events in the world. Current events in the nation.
Current events right here in central
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
I was looking at you to do the da-da-da-da-da-da
Oh.
again after I said nation.
You
know you ruined it.
Oh, fuck.
Current events, like Jesse said, right here, locally, in South Central Pennsylvania, where this podcast emanates from, and where both of us have lived a large majority of our lives, unless you've come from another place in your life.
I was born in Virginia, but I pretty much have lived
A
here.
log cabin in Virginia, if people didn't know.
Yeah, that's a totally real and viable fact.
Mm-hmm. If you read his Inkshares thing, which we told you to do last time, and I'm sure everybody did because
Totally.
your book pre-orders have skyrocketed from.
Actually, I have 20 right now.
Okay, but it was before that. It was what before the
Like,
podcast?
3 maybe.
You see, podcast bump, right? We were talking before
Yes.
how about this podcast has a negative bump. Now we have a specific net bump for the podcast.
17.
17. We will add 17 to anything. 17.
We're giving out free $17 if you come to me and say I've listened to this podcast.
So you can't do that.
I will
because
give you $17.
You can't just say I've listened to this podcast. You're gonna have to give them a specific code word that they wouldn't normally say.
And
Like
say
I listened to Two Guys Talking Podcast, Volume 1, Episode 6, where you change all the stuff up and say to me, banana pants, shitballs. No one would say that, right? Unless they specifically listen to this portion.
I'll release a code word at the end of the podcast.
Release a code word.
Yeah.
You know what? That gives them something to look forward to.
It gives them
It
an
does.
incentive.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start doing this every single week. We're going to put out there our thoughts on one or two world-related current events. We're going to put our thoughts out there on a couple national ones, which will probably be centered around politics for a while because we're in that season. We're getting closer and closer to November, and
The wonderful season of politics.
things are working their way into a fevered pitch. And then we're gonna give you some local news, which I'm sure will always be funny / horribly wrong because we're gonna guess at some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, we both have our cellular phones with us, so we can check what we're saying, if it's factually accurate or not.
So we have Brian Williams on the fact checker.
Brian Williams on the fact checker. He was at all these events, every single one of them, under the cover of darkness, night vision goggles. It was terrifying. It was like the time he was in Benghazi, but worse.
Oh, I remember Benghazi well. It was good times.
Yeah, good times for everybody except basically everyone that lived in Benghazi.
I mean, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much how I thought this would take longer.
Yeah.
Only 7.5, 8 minutes.
Good.
So we can get right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about all the time, unless we have a specific big thing that's happening, is going to be world current events, world news. And I'm sure there's a lot of things going on you'd love for us to talk about, like whatever happened to that Jaguar. Did they get another one?
No, he's dead. He's gone.
But let's focus on where that came from. You're talking about, I think it's the whole way back to episode 1 with the Rio Olympics.
Oh, you mean the Olympics?
So the Olympics in Rio came and went. First things first, United States of America utterly fucking dominated the world.
Yeah.
And showed everybody why we're better than them at specific sports. Not anything else. Just specific sports. Especially swimming.
Swimming?
Swimming, yeah. I was fighting back a burp when I was saying swimming, so it came out swimming.
I know what you mean.
It would have came out that or swimming with a burp in the middle of it. So, obviously, we killed them. We won all the major sports like gymnastics. I don't know.
Won all the medals, Bob.
I don't know if we placed in horse dancing. I would like to know that.
You want me to check how many gold medals we won in horse dancing?
Horse dancing, or is commonly known as dressage. And here's a fun thing I found out. I was watching Last Week Tonight recently, and John Oliver showed a clip of a horse doing a horse dance to Santana's "Smooth," which was as he put it, both the saddest moment in that horse's and Santana's life.
Probably. That makes a lot of sense. You know what? Actually, we did too bad in horse dancing.
In horse dancing?
No, you got 3. No, actually, I'm sorry. We got a total of 3 medals. 2 of them were bronze, and 1 was silver. Germany fucked us.
Germany's good at horse dancing.
They're the greatest horse dancers.
They have the danciest horses.
Isabel Werth is the greatest horse dancer.
That's weird to know. But anyway, we destroyed everybody in all these events. Obviously, women's basketball, men's basketball. We're gonna get golds in that anyway, most likely.
Yeah.
killed it in swimming in a lot of events. Men's decathlon, that Ashton Eaton guy is a beast. Did you see that?
Oh, no, I didn't really watch
That guy's a killer.
I'm not sportsy.
Or women's 4x100, a lot of track and field stuff, so track and field medals. Some giant man that threw a Olympic record shot put, like 73 some odd feet.
Was he from America?
He was from America. Silver was also America. This is the giant man I'm talking about, from Portland, Oregon, 6'7", 325. Huge dude.
Wow.
Big man. Big man.
You're a big man.
That's a big boy. On the scale of 1 to big boy, that's a big boy.
I'm going to put your big boy pants on.
So, I mean, obviously we killed it. One of the things I did want to bring up, I was recently on vacation, and during it, one of my friends I was with, we were talking about the Olympics, and I was saying how dominant we've been. Like, you could see the gap in medals. What do you finish at? 120, 119, 122, something like that?
121.
121. And the gap in medals is, like, ridiculous, like 40, 50.
Let me check here real quick.
We dusted.
China came in second with 70.
All right, so we dusted China, right?
Yeah.
That's, over 50 medal difference.
We we fucked them up.
So basically we
Take that, commies.
we took it to China. Now, he said the interesting thing when he was looking at it, my friend, is that we finished right around the same amount of medals we had in London, maybe a little more. I think he said we ended up at the time we was looking at it, we were only at 118. This is before the last day, and that was only, I think, like 9 or 10 more than the year prior. So we finished with about 11 to 12 more than the year prior, which is awesome. Good, we did better. And Great Britain, apparently, who finished, I think, third in medal count, they finished right around the same amount, maybe a little less, because you get that hometown bump of being in London from the prior 4 years. But apparently China finished way lower. Like, China had a lot. Like, they finished. They missed out, like,
there was
on
a gap.
20 to 40 medals that they would have had before. And then I'm reading a blog about this. Like, this is Monday after the closing ceremony happened, and I find out that not only is he right about that, but the Chinese gymnastics team, right, apparently didn't do well in men's or women's, but really shit the bed in the men's thing. I guess they were supposed to win the gold medal in the team, and they didn't. There was a guy that was supposed to win the gold medal and didn't even medal. Like, it was bad, right, according to them. So
they really screwed the pooch on that one, Josh.
So the gymnastics coaches for the Chinese men that apparently got a bonus when they was in Beijing, which was 2 Olympics ago, right? They said, hey, you did so well. Here's a bonus. Thanks for all the stuff you did for our country. But the Chinese government, when they came back after these Olympics, said, yeah, you did so poorly. Guess what? That bonus that we gave you, give us back that bonus. Give us back that money.
That's the most, like, petty thing in the entire world. Like, hey, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing there is, like, not only are they going to get fired, which if they haven't already, I mean, I'm sure they're going to, because in that blog it said they're probably going to get fired as well. I'm sure they already have.
I mean, they've dishonored their family.
So not only are they going to get fired, but the Chinese government is saying, remember that thing we gave you 8 years ago that that was probably spendable, and you've spent it, and now it's long gone? Give us it back right now.
Or else we're going to kill you.
And it's not like that. Also, it's not like a friend asking you for it back. It's not like, hey Jesse, I gave you $20 like last Tuesday. Can I have it back? It's not just a simple, like, Jesse could be like, oh man, I spent it. I'm sorry, or like duck me for like 4 years or something like that.
I mean,
like,
it's possible.
This is the Chinese government. You want to duck them, you got to fucking leave the country.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to do.
And even then, the Chinese government gets what they want because they obviously think they dishonored their family and their country, so now they want them to leave anyway.
I mean, basically what's going to happen is they're going to force whoever the coaches are, their children, into forced labor.
Slave labor?
I mean, I wouldn't call it slave labor.
Obvious next step, yes.
Yeah.
Obvious.
True.
And you can't talk about the Olympics right now without talking about the wonderful and amazing Ryan Lochte, the bro of all bros.
He is just a man of just superlative moral value, and what a great guy.
He is the bro of all bros. He's the best bro that's ever broed any broing.
Yeah, bro.
So actually, the funny thing is to see any of his interviews, he's real dumb.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, Michael Phelps doesn't seem like the brightest bulb in the fucking box either.
Oh, so you're saying most swimmers are stupid?
I mean, I don't want to.
You're saying all swimmers are
I don't
stupid.
want to come out and say most swimmers are stupid, but most swimmers are stupid. Yeah.
So earlier in
I
our
used to swim.
in volume 1, see volume 1, we were going to call Jesse is sad, but we called Jesse hates all aquatic life, because earlier in this volume you said that you had a thing against sailors, and sailing was ridiculous because we were talking about the Olympics.
Oh no! Well, yeah, the Olympic class sailors.
Yeah.
I almost forgot all
that
about
were losers, and now you're calling Olympic class swimmers losers. So basically, if you go to the Olympics and compete in any kind of water sport,
hold the phone. I never said they were losers. I said they were dumb.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. To clarify.
Yeah. I mean, clearly they're winners because they, won a lot of medals for us.
Right.
Specifically the Phelps gentleman, but
Specifically the Phelps gentleman, but the Lochte gentleman.
yeah.
What he did, and I guess 3 of his cohorts did, and their names escape me, and I'm not going to look them up because I don't care. Apparently 4 of them went out on the town, reported that they were mugged, they were robbed at gunpoint, and at one point, when the story originally came out, were forced to give up their gold medals, right? That was the original story that hit, by the way. MSNBC carried that story. You can see it. There's a Twitter page that follows this whole thing, and they take screenshots of stuff because they want to show you what it was like, right? As this stupid thing evolved to what it is now. And at one point, it was Ryan Lochte and these 4 people are robbed at gunpoint and their gold medals taken, right?
You know what? Now that you mention, I do remember seeing something about that, like super briefly on like Facebook.
Yeah. Now, we come to find out. Well, not now, but then we come to find out. No, it wasn't. They didn't. Their medals were never stolen. That never happened. That was.
Oh, did I say stolen? I meant. Yeah. No, we just got robbed.
So then after that, we come to find out. Now there's footage that's been released, and this is the other thing that just blows my mind. Like I think they're so dumb that they think because they're in what they qualify as a third world country, which Rio is not really a third world country. It's close. Brazil's kind of close. I mean, it's not the best, right?
Yeah, it's not the greatest place.
But there's some, there's places that are, for the lack of a better term, gentrified, right? They're not,
yeah,
they're not just huts.
I just saw this documentary and it was like one of the countries in South America that's gentrified, and they were just talking about I just killed a guy for like $90 so I could buy some speed.
Yeah,
like that happens all the time.
Well, see that brings me to the point of that's if they're gentrified and that stuff's happening all the time, they have cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
And at this gas station they were at that they got robbed at, quote unquote, there's 6 different cameras, and those 6 different cameras they were called off of 4 of them. On those 4 different cameras, you can see them walking back an alley, being drunk, being rowdy, apparently pissing in public. All right, at least once. Now, pissing in public, mind you. What I end up finding out, because at one point, MSNBC has a guy walk you through everything they did, right? And he stops an alleyway to show where they peed, and then walks an additional 4 steps to where the bathroom is, that then one of them went into because he's too good to pee outside, whoever this is, right?
Yeah.
went into the bathroom and knocked a soap dispenser from the wall, broke a mirror, and may have taken one of the stall doors off, right? They come back out, walk back down the alley, destroy a billboard that's hanging there.
I don't get, how the fuck's that even happen? You're just oh, I'm fucking drunk.
And just drunk
America.
and belligerent idiots, right? And then they come through, and then they come through back to where the front of the gas station is, and a taxi driver who's waiting there for them sees them being confronted by security, because security hears and sees all this going on and is like, you can't be doing this. So the taxi driver doesn't leave. 2 guys get in the taxi, and security's detaining them. The taxi driver doesn't leave because he doesn't want involved in anything else at this point. Because he's like, look, I'm just here to pick these guys up.
Fuck all this.
Right, I'm not here for whatever. 2 of them run, and they get stopped by either security or a concerned citizen. Either way, the citizen or security has a gun. And what I tend to believe it is actually security, right?
Yeah.
The reason I'll say that is because in Rio, because of a lot of the cops protesting and not wanting to do street,
Shit.
protection and stuff like that, a lot of these business owners have gone out and got their own security that they're paying for because they are worried about this kind of shit happening. So they go out and get these security people, and most of the security companies are dressing them in a certain thing that denotes their security or something along those lines. Or in this case, 2 of these security guards were actually security guards from the Olympic fucking Village, which is apparently 2 blocks up the goddamn road.
Good times.
But the reason I think the concerned citizen they think, because in the video they can't see him wear anything, is probably security guards, because some of these people are getting security guards that probably aren't normally security guards. Like some guy who has a gun is probably like, oh, I can be your security. I have this gun. I have this permit for it or whatever. You pay me whatever and I'll be your security guard, which I'm sure happened constantly down there. They're like, well, I need somebody to protect it. I trust you. You have a gun. Please don't steal my stuff. That kind of thing, right? So I'm sure it was probably a security guard from some restaurant or bar or other gas station, or maybe that gas station, who knows, that stops them. And then end up, there's an exchange of money at some point, right? And basically, long and short of it is, what it sounds like to me is them, if maybe I'm wrong, Jesse, you tell me if I'm wrong, them bribing their way out of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, from what it sounds like to me, they were just kind of like, hey, here's a bunch of money. Will you not,
Yeah, please stop holding me at gunpoint. Can we go?
Yeah.
And then they take the money, because, again, these are security guards, right?
Yeah.
Who are in it for the money. Once they take the money, they're like, all right, well, I mean, I got more than I'm going to get tonight anyway. You're done doing your bullshit. This money will hopefully pay for some of this damages, because we'll give it to the owner, and some of it we'll keep.
I mean, I kind of doubt they probably gave it to the owner.
Yeah, I doubt they gave it to the owner too, but, still.
Yeah.
Some of it we'll probably keep, and, maybe some of it will pay for the damages, and you can be on your merry way. Now, why, Jesse?
Would
you
someone
then
just make up random shit?
Decide that you're going to tell people you got mugged? Like, what are you gaining from saying you got mugged?
I don't know. I think it's kind of like one of those things like, what happened, Ryan? Like, we got mugged. Yeah, we got
because you don't
mugged.
want to admit you went out and got wasted drunk and fucked shit up?
Basically, yeah.
I mean, I guess
he's an Olympic athlete. He just did he win any gold? I don't
He
know.
did. He won gold with Phelps in one of the 4x1. The individual medley 4x100s.
So like he's an Olympic athlete. He has, he does have what the fuck are they called?
Blue
endorsements.
Hair. Endorsements.
Yeah. So Speedo dropped him.
Yeah.
Because of the whole thing. He needs to maintain a certain level of, I guess credibility is the word.
Yeah.
In a sense, but
he
just wants to stay under the radar. He can be a drunk asshole, just like Phelps can be high as hell.
Yeah.
The entire.
It just doesn't. Here's what doesn't make sense to me about Jesse. And here's why I ask, why would you do it? Because to me, what that sounds like, what it sounds like when somebody goes, "Hey, Ryan, you're home late, right?"
Yeah.
Or you're here late, or you've been out for a while and you don't have any money, or what happened? That sounds like what a teenager says to a parent when they come home late. Like, what happened? And you go, "Oh man, you won't believe it," and you make up some ridiculous story when really all that happened is you just went and got high with your friends. Yeah. And look down at the clock and you're like, "God damn, it's 1 o'clock in the morning."
We've all been there, Bob.
Bob.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't make any sense to me because this is supposed to be an adult because he's 31, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. He's been playing in the pool his entire life, probably.
Well, you're saying the blue hair kind of gives away the fact that he's an idiot.
Listen, I don't
and
know.
Not mature.
Like you said, Ryan Locke doesn't sound very smart. He doesn't seem like the type of guy who really has his shit together. And I would probably venture to believe, and this is a complete assumption, I don't fucking know his life. I would probably venture that he is irresponsible and probably not super duper mature.
Yeah, you would venture that, huh?
Yes,
yeah.
I would go as far to say that.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
these are the actions of someone who clearly is not fully mentally equipped to deal with. Oh, I fucked up.
Yeah. I guess my problem is, and this is where I guess I can see the other side of it. My problem is I'm so honest with people sometimes that it's almost to a fault. Where I think if I got in that situation, I would say, Yeah, we went out. We got a little drunk. We tore some shit up. I may or may not have pissed in an alley, and I paid off some dumb security guards to let us go.
I mean, and like I'm not I'm not defending his actions because I think he's a dumbass, but I can see like why he did the things that he did.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're like good things that he did. Like I'm not going to use the whole like oh boys will be boys excuse, but
Right. Boys will be boys.
yeah.
That's what the American Olympic Committee went. Boys will be boys. Hey Rio. Hey.
I also think it's hilarious that he like fucking bailed like immediately after that.
Yeah,
whole
he was
thing.
already home when they got the other ones got
And,
detained.
like all the rest of them were like, ah, shit.
Fuck you, Lochte.
Ryan Lochte.
No, con. All right. I mean, there's other world stuff
There was
probably
a huge
going on.
ass earthquake.
Yeah, big ass earthquake that killed a bunch of people in where? Australia? Was it
Italy.
Italy?
159. I believe.
Australia was close.
Yeah, super duper close. Yeah, I mean.
So shit happened in Italy, but we're not going to cover it because I don't know anything about it unless you want to cover it.
I mean, lots of people died. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Not really anything we can.
Yeah. It was caused by ISIS. They have an earthquake machine now.
Yeah.
ISIS, who, by the way, is headed up by Barack Hussein Obama, if you didn't know that.
Yeah,
know
you
if
know
you
what?
knew.
I did hear that, actually. That
Credible source. A
you
credible
know,
source.
It's actually funny you mentioned that. I was on Facebook. So sometimes I'm like masochistic sometimes
Yeah.
with the way I like look at comics on Facebook.
Yeah.
I was on this like super right wing this like page, and I was reading the comics, like not the comics, the comments of
The
some
comments.
of the stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And this one guy was just like, Barack is the head of ISIS. No facts, just opinion. And it's like, hey, can't really just like that can't just like be your opinion. Like
Yeah,
an opinion's
right.
like, oh, toast is good.
Toast
Or
is
like,
Well, that's the credible source is obviously Trump, so that'll lead us right into national current events, which is
Yeah.
obviously politics and going to be politics centered or centric for the next
Ever.
cycle until that happens in November, and even after that,
Did
Baloo's
you-
adding his own 2 cents.
Yeah.
He's tired of Donald Trump too, right, Baloo? I agree.
oh, he's voting for Trump.
Oh, he's voting for Trump?
That Bart
He's gonna
said, build that wall.
build that wall.
You filthy lib. Libtard.
Yeah, Baloo is very, very into Fox and Friends.
He watches the 5 every night.
So anyway, politics, national news, politics, and here's the biggest thing that came out recently. I think either yesterday or today, it broke about some more stuff about Hillary Clinton's emails while she's Secretary of State, and not so much emails as it is they found out that I guess there's a classification of large donors is what they call them, or major donors, benefactors, whatever, and it's people who contribute. I believe it's $10,000 or more to your campaign. I think it's 10,000. I could be wrong about that, but anyway, of the 158 large benefactors she has to her campaign, it came out that 84 of those people were on her calendar while she was Secretary of State
Yeah.
for meetings, whether they were one-on-one meetings or whatever. So obviously the questions coming up of, hey, there are all these people who are giving you a lot of money, seem to be on this list of people you were seeing while you were Secretary of State. Like, we're getting paid then? Are you getting paid now? Like, why do these people owe you this money? Like, what's happening? Do they owe you this money, or do they like you? Like,
so like, was it? I guess I don't, and I know next to nothing about the whole thing because I've more or less given up on it.
Well, a lot of it's hearsay and conjecture.
So, but like,
But
what's?
I get the thread between them.
So like, what's? I guess like, what's the big deal? Like, is the big deal that she was receiving money when she wasn't running for president?
The
basically?
big deal is. Was she receiving money when she wasn't running for president? Which we don't,
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
So why? The question is first, why is she meeting with these people? Is there a reason to? And for some of them, I guess there's, maybe there isn't a reason to because they're not like really somebody she needs to meet with while she's Secretary of State.
So were these like official meetings, or were they just like, oh yeah, I'm going to meet Barbara for?
Well, no,
fucking brunch?
these are official meetings that are on her calendar from like all her email is out there now. And like this is like Outlook calendar stuff where she's getting scheduled official meetings that during this time to this time she's blocked off meeting with whoever, right? Mm-hmm. And like so all this is public knowledge now, and because it's public knowledge and this investigation, there's a lot of stuff. Like I think I was telling you before, 15 of those 84 gave her over $1 million. So now they're like, okay, well now these are really heavy hitters in your campaign. Yeah. Who are these people? Now, let me say this, right? I'll back this up by saying the first thing I thought of when I heard this, and this is maybe being like me a leftist, liberal, hippie, Hillary apologist douchebag, is I'm like, well, haven't people given Donald Trump a lot of money? Isn't he like just as sleazy? Like
the answer is yes. Yes, he is.
And maybe these people that she's meeting with just plain like her, and they want to give her money because they'd like to see her run the country.
I don't get what the big I just like people give money to other people who they want to like run the country all the time.
The problem is it like it's the special interest thing. It's like the side everybody takes, and I get it. Everybody takes the side with Hillary is the corrupt insider, special interest group. She's so tied to all these things.
Yeah.
Because she's been, she is a career politician. She's done nothing else really with her life. Like that's what she's done her entire life. And, you paint, if you're a Hillary person, you paint that at the side of, and you heard it at the Democratic National Convention if you watched it, you paint, just like her daughter Chelsea did, you paint it as a social service worker, a person who's worked for the people for so long, right? Which technically isn't wrong, right? It's not wrong to call it that.
Okay.
But that's not what she's doing.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton makes money hand over fist. I mean, it's just...
So what they're basically saying, like, for instance, I'll give you a great example. This morning I'm watching Morning Joe, which is one of the few Republican-based shows that's on MSNBC. Joe Scarborough, who's a noted Republican, used to be a Republican congressman, who, they run down Democrats all the time. Now, he's been running down Donald Trump like crazy lately because...
You're not a fan?
Joe Scarborough is one of those people, and, I'll get to that later. Yeah. Let's concentrate on this Hillary woman.
Hillary Clinton.
One of the things Joe brought up this morning is, the Clintons have made money off of politics.
Yes.
They have earned their money off of being a dynasty in politics, being a dynasty as politicians, which is absolutely true. That's not inaccurate. So, but what he's calling into question is that okay? That, your whole life you're making money off of just being a politician. Shouldn't you make it somewhere else? Shouldn't you make it like not the public sector, the private sector?
I think that was the entire point of politicians at the conception of this country. Right. Was it not? Am I wrong though? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, we'd have to ask like George Washington and Abe Lincoln.
I mean, and I'm not gonna like the whole thing with that is originally like Thomas Jefferson did a bunch of stuff that wasn't just politics. Like they were like politics.
You mean slave owning?
Slave ownership aside, because it's a thing, and I'm not going to condone it. It was terrible, but I mean, it doesn't really have to, go with the point I'm saying here.
Yeah, well, make your point then.
I'm just saying, originally, politicians weren't just they weren't politicians all the time. Like they were usually business. Yeah, they were usually business owners, lawyers, shit like that. And now it seems like, oh, okay, you're a politician, and here's a lot of money because now people are interested in basically.
Well, you get money for speaking events. You get money. You're a public figure. You get money to go places. And do things.
I get that, but people also definitely get money for, hey, I like this thing, and there's a bill that wants this thing to go away. Mm-hmm. Can you fight to not have this thing go away?
The lobbyists, the special interests.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about here with the Clintons. I think that's the thing, the key button that you're going to keep pushing when you're pushing against Hillary, is for the extreme rightist or extreme right idiots is she's a woman and woman can't run a country, but for like a lot of people are going to be like, well, she's an insider, special interest, like she's been a career politician. Do you want somebody like you don't trust the government as it is? You think the government's terrible. Well, she's been involved with the government for years and years and years. Have you thought it's gotten better or worse? It's gotten worse. Well, fucking, she's been doing it the whole fucking time.
You know what's something I realized, though, that I just discovered? Super bigoted people are far more scared of feminists than they are of black people. Because of all the stuff I heard about Obama when he came. Oh, you can't do that job because he's a black person.
Yeah.
Like he can't do a white man's job. And
Right.
then, like you don't ever hear anyone. No, I haven't heard a soul. I haven't read of a soul saying she can't be president because she's a woman.
Oh, I've seen that a bunch of places.
Really?
In fact, I just watched a clip from the Daily Show where, and I wanted to bring this up when we got to the Trump thing, so I think we're segueing a little bit, so I'll just get into it anyway.
Yeah.
This guy was talking about the extreme vetting that Trump wants to do, and he said in this extreme vetting you're going to have to answer questions to prove that you match ideologically with the United States government and with the United States and our ideals.
What in regards to what?
You haven't heard about this?
No.
Okay, so he called, this was like last week, Monday or Tuesday. He called it extreme vetting, and what he wants to do is not just question you on like why you're coming to the country, but like do your
Are you
ideals.
talking about like immigrants?
Yeah, immigrants.
Oh Christ.
Mhm. Do your ideals match the ideals of the American
America.
American country and the normal everyday American person? Basically, trying to vet out your extremists, your terrorists, your whatever. So, do you match the ideals of us? Which if it works exactly like he says it's going to work, and keeps the terrorists out, good, great, grand. But the problem is, it's racist. What you're doing is racist. Okay.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, this Jordan Kepler guy, who's a correspondent for the Daily Show, goes out to a Trump like rally or maybe a Trump whatever, and basically is saying, "I'm going to ask his supporters see if they could pass the test." Right?
Yeah.
Now, there's no set test, so this is all like tongue-in-cheek bullshit.
Yeah,
There's no test that's out there.
Yeah.
He's just talking about the thought process, and one of the things he's asking people is like, one of them is, "Gay marriage is blank," and the one guy he's talking to is like, "Disgusted." And like he'll go through that a little bit, and then at the end he goes, "No, I'm sorry, you're wrong. It's actually legal in the United States of America. Legal is what you're looking for."
Disgusting.
And he's like, "Well, I don't care. That shouldn't be right."
Yeah.
But at some point he goes, when I was talking this about the woman stuff, he goes and talks to a woman, and a woman says that she doesn't want a woman to be president because you know how women are. They'll just start wars left and right. A woman just gets a hormonal flash and boom.
I feel like the majority of women I talk to, this came out wrong. Not the majority of women I talk to,
Most
but
of the women you talk to.
The majority of people I talk to that are like not like feminist are women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean not like feminist?
So like I don't know.
Who aren't You're saying just not feminist?
Like,
because here's a fun story I'll tell you. My friend who I was at this, we were watching that. Just told you I went on vacation with. The same guy, he made a great point of the most powerful and proud and knowledgeable and best women he knows don't hold themselves out to be feminist.
yeah.
I mean, they may act like they are, but they don't hold themselves out to be. And I would agree with that. The most powerful, proud, distinguished, smart women that I've ever been around that are independent, that hold themselves out to be independent and do shit on their own, do not say, "I'm feminist."
And I would largely agree with you on that. And let me rephrase a little bit here.
No, don't come back off of it. We need your hot takes. Every feminist is what, Jesse? Broad accusations.
No, listen.
Sweeping accusations.
Every person I've talked to who thinks like, oh, women's place should be as like a homemaker and like an asset to like her husband and shit like that, like all the backward shit. They've all been like the vast majority of them have been women. So
you're saying most of the people you've talked to that believe the woman's place is in the kitchen,
for lack of a better term,
is a woman.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've only ever met one guy like that, and he was an older person.
Shocker.
And his wife believed the same thing,
Yeah.
And that's obviously why they got married. But I've never, most of the people, I can't tell you I met anyone that doesn't believe that, women shouldn't be empowered. So watching that stuff is weird. Like, here's another one that's funny. He was talking to another guy. It wasn't a woman. Same guy's talking to another guy, Jordan Kepler. And he's saying to him, like, women get respect in America, right? They don't get respect in other countries. We respect our women's here. Women rights, And then Jordan Kepler goes, "That's great. That's perfect. That's what we love. We love to hear that." He's like, "What's the front of that shirt say again?" And then it says Hillary sucks, but not like Monica. It has a picture of Hillary Clinton and Monica. And he's like, that's great. What were we talking about again about treating women with respect? And he goes back to that and he goes, hey, one more time, give me the back of that shirt. What's the back of that shirt say? I can't get enough of it. He turns around and it says, Trump that bitch. And he goes, Trump that bitch, yeah. And then people behind him start cheering. He goes, and then Jordan Kepler goes, isn't it great? We don't even see the irony.
I mean, that's like 100% true, man. Like, it's ridiculous.
Those are the people that are voting for Trump, by the way.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
for instance, me putting on my Facebook not too long ago about like, hey,
I don't understand Trump.
No, the one I said about like, yeah, right. But I wasn't being mean.
Yeah.
Like I said, look, can anyone who like staunchly
anyone convince you?
Anyone that staunchly supports Trump, and I put on there. I wanted to call people out by name, but I didn't. So I've seen a ton of you posting on my timeline.
Yeah.
So I've seen you. I know you exist, right? I know you are publicly endorsing this man. Mm-hmm. So tell me, without telling me it's because you don't like Hillary, so you can't use the reason of I just don't like Hillary Clinton. Tell me why you want to vote for Donald Trump. Give me a reason, educate me. And the responses were ridiculous.
I read most.
Overwhelmingly ridiculous, to the point of where my Republican brother told one of the people that said it. But then, by your logic, you would vote for Kanye West, Justin Bieber.
I saw that.
Or Rob Gronkowski.
That was hilarious. Yeah, that was good times.
So my Republican brother, who, you would think, okay, he's in politics, he's a Republican, and we've said this before, would, just toe the party line and go like, oh, okay, nobody likes this guy, but fucking whatever.
Well, I mean, that's how, I feel like that's how most of the Democrats are. Like, I feel like most people are like, who are you voting for? Hillary Clinton. Like,
because that's who's out there, right? At least it's not Donald Trump, right? We didn't get suckered into voting for...
Like, no one's... Like, there's only, a few people who are, really stoked about, Hillary Clinton. And, the rest of them are just kind of like, yeah, well, fucking hate that Trump guy.
For me, when we talk about the politics, I always go back to, and I'm sure if anybody who's listened to all of these episodes or knows me knows that I'm very much more interested in voting third party. And this is a good election to vote third party.
That's what I'm doing.
You have the chance to do that for once. You have legitimate third party candidates. Now, I will tell you that I'm not going to vote for Gary Johnson. A lot of people are. Right?
I'm not either.
I'm going to vote for Jill Stein. I did a bunch of research on her, what platform she stands on. I also took this. This is very interesting. There's an online quiz out there, and I wish I knew where it was. And what
is it? Who do you side with? Or whatever.
Yeah. Where you answer a bunch of questions. Yeah. It's a shit ton of questions. Yeah. So originally I thought to myself, online quizzes never help you out, but this one actually did, because it's about...
It asked you a fuck ton of questions.
It's about 85 questions long, and it's kind of saying what do you agree with, and then how much do you agree with it on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Mm-hmm. And then it tells you, okay, based on your answers, here's how these candidates answered, and here's how you would agree with them.
I was 34% Donald Trump.
I was 95% Stein, 95% Steen, 95%
Steen?
Steen, yeah, 95% Clinton, 85% Bernie Sanders.
Oh, was he still in it when you took it? Because when I took it, he was out.
And when I took it, he was still there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was 58% Donald Trump.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were more Hillary than Bernie?
I was more Hillary than Bernie.
You weren't feeling the burn.
No. My problem. Here's my problem with Bernie, and this, I think I've said that before in this podcast too. My problem with Bernie is that a lot of his ideas are great in theory, but the president of the United States has no legitimate power.
Yeah. Right?
And I actually said this on that the Facebook post too. Once it got to the point, I'm like, honestly, Google, seriously sit down and Google what a president's power is these days, and it's minimal to none. Yeah. The stuff they're saying that they want to do, none of them can do it. Yeah. They have to get it passed by Congress. And all the stuff Bernie said he wanted to do is not going to happen. That wall is not going to fucking happen. That wall's not going to happen.
Oh, you mean, you said Bernie, but then said
I know,
wall.
but I'm saying that you've been skipping to Trump. That wall, even that wall that he touts, you have to get that past Congress, and nobody in Congress are going to be like, yep, wall us off from another fucking country.
That wall's happening. And Mexico's paying for it.
So all that stuff is just impossible to happen, and it's just bullshit.
Shifting gears for a second, because we're on the topic of Trump being ridiculous. Did you hear they apologized for like he was like, I've been too honest.
Oh,
Like,
he apologized.
yeah,
No, I did not hear
yeah,
that.
he like it was kind of like a real like half-ass like I've been too honest in the way I've been talking, but sometimes I just get really empowered about how I feel about things and
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
Well, I heard they changed campaign heads again,
Yeah,
and now it's his son-in-law is the campaign head.
Oh, you know, yeah, no, I think I did hear that.
And I heard that there was a softening that apparently happening. He was on Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
And on Hannity, he was talking
Hannity's
about...
a fucking idiot, by the way.
Hannity's an asshole.
Oh, my God, I hate that guy.
So I got a story about Sean Hannity here in a second.
But
on the softening thing, I guess he came out, Sean Hannity, and said, like, he's going to soften a little bit on this deportation immigration stuff.
yeah.
Because it's a little overboard.
Yeah.
No, it's not a little overboard, Donald. Like, you're a racist bastard. It's hugely overboard, all right? You're a straight dickhead about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I heard some of that stuff.
I just think it's funny that he like he said all that stuff, and then like he did this other speech, like he's like 95% of black people are living in poverty, like was just like super condescending to black people.
Well, if it's statistically accurate, which I'm sure it isn't,
Yeah,
but if it's statistically accurate, then yeah, he can say whatever he wants as long as it's accurate, Jesse. The Sean Hannity story I got real quick, because we're at, what is this? Oh, 46 minutes. We got plenty of time.
Oh, good.
Because there's not really much to talk about local news. It's going to take 2 seconds. I got nothing on it.
Corn grows.
Corn, assorted corn. There's motorbike. There's dirt bike assholes in my property, in my development. I hate them. Local news. Anyway, Sean Hannity. I was watching. So I watch Sam Roberts stuff online on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sam Roberts, Sirius Radio. He was on Opie Anthony for a while. Has his own show now.
Okay. Yeah.
He was showing or talking about this thing that happened where Sean Hannity sent one of his reporters, not himself, of course, but sent one of his reporters out to like Louisiana or something like that to go to this Black Lives Matter protest and ask questions, right? And talk to people. And like the questions that Sean Hannity is asking this dude to ask are unbelievably insensitive to human people. Not just to anybody, to human beings, right? At one point, this Black Lives Matter guy is talking to the reporter, because the reporter goes up to him, because first of all, Sean Hannity goes, go up to those guys with, I want you to go back to those guys with the Black Lives Matter's t-shirt. I want you to talk to them. Talk to the guys with the t-shirts on. Talk to the guys with the t-shirts. He's saying this on live television, by the way. Like, this is, you can look at this on YouTube. It's real. It's a real thing you could easily find, right?
His Twitter's just as funny.
What's that?
His Twitter's just as great.
Yeah, he really, either he really believes this stuff, or he is the greatest character of all time. Greatest character actor of all time.
I wish
he's playing this part to a T. So he asked him to go back to this, and while he's talking to these people, he's asking them stuff about different things, and Sean Hannity wants this reporter to ask them. There's parts of Black Lives Matter that were out in the street chanting recently, pigs in a blanket, let them fry, pigs in a blanket, let them fry, about cops.
Yeah.
And he's like, ask them if he sides with those people, ask them about those comments, ask them about those comments, ask him if he sides with those people. Like, clearly inflammatory stuff. And like at some point, the reporter's trying to get out of it, He kind of asks somebody, but kind of doesn't, right? And so two things.
I'd be fucking scared to death. I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, there's like this weird awkward silence for a while where like he's trying to process what the fuck Sean Hannity's asking him to say.
You'd be like the worst boss ever. Like, okay, Sean.
At one point, so here's the first thing. At one point, this guy's saying about Black Lives Matter and explaining why Black Lives Matter is important, and Sean Hannity goes, "Well, ask him. Don't all lives matter? Don't all lives matter, sir?" And like he's talking to the reporter in his ear as if he's talking directly to these black guys, but he's not, right? He's thousands of miles away, not within slapping or stabbing distance, and he's not going to get any kind of repercussions from this, right? Yeah. Because the people that watch him and follow Sean Hannity are thinking the same fucking bullshit, right? So then the second thing that happens is that
all lives do matter.
So here's the second funny thing that happens. Once he finally asked the question, kinda, right? The reporter doesn't really ask it the way Sean's been phrasing it. he kind of says there's been certain people that have been saying inflammatory things in your group, certain things about pigs in a blanket and things like that. Do you agree with that side, or what would you say about those certain people within your movement, right? A legitimately worded question, which I was like, I don't know how he got that out of the bullshit Sean Hannity was saying, but good for this guy.
Yeah.
Like doing a triple backflip on a like we were just talking about the gymnastics.
He would have got gold.
Gymnastics move to get around Sean Hannity be a racist asshole.
He should be on the Chinese gymnastics
Right?
team.
Yeah, he should coach him.
Yeah.
So there's a spot open out here, right?
I did, yeah.
So he poses this question like this, which is a good, well-worded question,
Good
right?
for him.
To this gentleman who's wearing a Black Lives Matter T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman in the Black Lives Matter T-shirt looks him dead in the eye and goes, "Oh well, I unfortunately haven't heard stuff like that. I'm sorry that certain pockets of us are saying things like that. I know I haven't heard stuff like that here, and if I did, I'd want to know why somebody would be saying like that, because that's not really helping our cause out, is it?"
Yeah, no.
And then
So like a really good
so
response.
like two really well thought out responses, and Sean Hannity's response is, "All lives matter, sir. All lives matter." And I'm like, man, you didn't even listen to what he fucking said. You fucking asshole.
God, I hate Sean Hannity.
So like, it's crazy. Sean Hannity's a crazy motherfucker, right?
Yeah, it's actually
That's my Sean Hannity story.
and yeah, I don't want to go into the Black Lives Matter thing too terribly much because it's a lot of stuff to cover. But like, I got into a pretty heated argument with someone I'm very close with.
Christina.
I can neither confirm nor deny that to be the truth about the whole Black Lives Matter thing. She
by the way, she talked to me, I think, yesterday or today on the
did she?
phone, and I don't think she recognized it was me.
Really?
She didn't say, "Hey, Josh, what's up?" Because she should have.
I'm sorry, man.
And I'm going to call her out straight on this podcast. I don't give a shit.
I'm going to get right home, and I'm going to beat the shit out of her.
Whoa, okay. All right. Did not expect that. Please don't do that.
It's already done.
It's already done. Oh.
She needs to pay. Anyway, let's speak of the devil. Anyway, but yeah, so we got into this heated debate. She is very under the same mind of like her parents, who are very conservative and stuff like that.
Okay, that's fine.
That's her opinion.
Yeah, right.
Yada yada yada.
People are allowed to be wrong. That's fine.
See, apparently, anyway, apparently not. But like usually we don't really talk about it because we believe very different things for the most part.
Yeah.
But like, she had to be like, "Oh, well, like the Black Lives Matter people are just as bad as the KKK," and I was like, not really at all, actually.
Because that movement came about because they're hearkening back to not only what's happening right now in their lives, but we didn't really ask them to come here. We didn't really say, "Hey, could you come? Could you?" Like, the KKK is mainly people who we were like, "Hey, do you want to let's escape oppression together?" Right? That's where they come from. The Europeans, the people who are coming here to seek a better life. Most of your African Americans didn't come here to seek a better life. A lot of them are descendant from the people that were like, "Hey, would you like to get on this boat?" No, you're gonna get in the boat anyway.
Too bad. Funny about that. You're in a net now, so.
Do you want to get eaten by this lion? No. Well, you could get in this boat.
What's your name? Kunta Kinte? No, your name's Sam now. That's your name. Congrats. Good job, Sam.
Like, that kind of crap.
But
right?
yeah, anyway, so like,
big difference.
And I was just kind of like, and we kind of got in the whole like, you can still like respect the police and still be pro Black Lives Matter. Like, you don't have to like.
Right. You could do both. Like
it's not us versus them.
The thing I just said with the reporter who took Sean Hannity's bigoted words and turned them into a well thought out human sentence.
Yeah.
And the Black Lives Matter thing, who looked him dead in the eye and went, "Dude, I'm sorry." Basically.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not all those fucking people.
I mean, of course, there's gonna be a few people in any sort of.
Right.
Movement
just
like
like there's shitty cops. I forget who I was listening to, but somebody said this exact quote. Just like there's shitty cops, right? There's shitty people in Black Lives Matter.
Of course
there
is.
Just like there's shitty Olympic swimmers. Just like there's shitty gorillas.
And shitty earthquakes.
Yeah, and shitty earthquakes. Just like there's shitty everything.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and then it devolved in this whole like. well, they should just get over it, pretty much. And I was just like, yeah. And then I just kind of pretty much gave up.
Yeah, you can't really get.
Yeah. And I was just like, I just stopped responding to everything, and she's just like, well, what? Like, what? And I was just like, that's fine.
You just gotta get over. They gotta
Like,
get
that's
over.
your opinion.
They gotta get over the rampant murder, Jesse.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want to paint her in bad light. She's a lovely person, but
She is a lovely person, except for not saying hi to me when she
Yeah.
talks to me on the fucking phone. I'm a person, Jesse.
you're right.
I matter.
Josh lives matter.
Yeah, just
Hashtag
me.
Josh lives matter.
Yeah, me, just this Josh.
Yeah.
All other Joshes can die.
Exactly. Don't all lives matter,
No,
sir.
they don't.
All lives matter.
They do not. Josh Groban can suck my balls.
All Josh lives matter.
All right. So we're about like 5-10 minutes left in this podcast because
Okay.
we're at 55. So let's, with no segue involved whatsoever, and we'll get better at them hopefully maybe. Let's get right into local news. And I basically have nothing for it. Do you have anything for it at all that you want to bring up?
Locally in the news.
South Central Pennsylvania local.
Yes, here we are in South Central Pennsylvania.
You got anything for me?
No.
No, not really.
I've been I've been doing my best to not be involved with anything here for like the recent time being.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't want to be here permanently.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You're gonna leave us? You're gonna leave the podcast?
Hopefully I won't leave the podcast, but
Well, if you're gonna leave here, you're gonna leave the podcast because I'm never leaving this fucking shithole of a place.
well, why not, man?
I'm staying here forever
Why?
because I want to raise my kids in a place that they understand life is not going to get better.
Touche. You're right.
They need to understand life is a constant source of rejection and repetition of rejection.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it won't be for a while if it does happen. Let's be real.
Oh, I don't actually care. I'll get another one of you. You're pointless.
You're right. This is true.
You're an add-on. I'm the star. You're an add-on. You're an add-on
Touche.
piece.
Touche.
Well, the only thing I'll tell you about local news is antidotally. Am I saying that right? Anticdotally? Anticdotally.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Not important.
Anecdotally. Yep.
Yeah. I was recently sitting in my house, which we're in right now, on my couch, which we're on right now,
What?
at this spot, which I'm at right now.
Oh my god.
Right? Watching that TV right there, which is
Yeah.
right now off as
I
a
can
bug
see
flies near it and away from it. And bye, bug. Now you're gone. I can't see you. Never kill that thing. They'll just be around forever. Anyway, point is, I'm sitting here watching it, and you know they break in. I don't want to say break in during shows, but like the commercials, they always have like maybe a minute, maybe 30 seconds for your news. Like tonight at 10 o'clock, this, right? Or at 11 o'clock, this. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
And the station I was watching was doing one of those things, but it was like also throwing to different people on different at different places. So it threw to this one guy who's standing outside, like, I don't know, some place, and he says he's in York. And he says, find out why 6 people were gunned down in York. And then they throw to somebody else. And they
Because it's
say
York.
2 people were gunned down in Lancaster. Then they say something happened in Adams County where they busted a drug ring. And then they go somewhere else and there's a home break-in. Then they go somewhere else. And this is all like around South Central PA. And I look at my wife who's sitting beside me and I'm like, Jesus, when did Amish country become, we're going to break into every goddamn house and shoot every person we see?
Dude, I don't know, man. It's funny because, like, my cousin, who I have a family everywhere, but the cousin I was talking to is from California, and she's just like, she's talking about like her future and like having kids and stuff like that. And she's like, whenever I have kids, like, I don't want to know if I'd want to raise them here. I want to raise them someplace like where you live, where it's like quieter and stuff like that.
Oh, so she's saying where is she in California?
She's like
L.A.?
and she's like 45 minutes away from L.A.
Okay.
Or Orange County.
Well, nobody wants to live near L.A.
I mean, I love
I would
that.
never want to live near L.A.
Why?
L.A. is the armpit of everything
I
in
mean,
California.
LA's shitty, but like everywhere around LA is super nice.
Yeah, but you got to get far enough away from L.A. so that you don't get like,
yeah,
shot at.
that's why you live near Anaheim.
Right? That, or I'd say San Diego.
San Diego's supposed to be pretty nice. I don't
which
have
is
enough.
Spanish for whale's vagina.
Yes, I believe that is the direct.
Pronunciation from it.
What's the word? Translation. Sorry.
Translation.
Direct
If you don't even know what the
translation.
word translation means, I'm going to doubt your ability to translate something. FYI.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's
Super
fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair thing. So you have anything at all that you want to touch on that we didn't get to touch on?
Not really. No.
Any burning Any burning pee? You just got to get out.
No,
Is it
not-
burned
not
so
this
much?
time.
You got to see a doctor.
Well, I do
About
I have a urology appointment on like right in the beginning of the month.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Urology.
Yeah.
That's real.
The dick doctor.
The dick.
Dr. Dick.
You are very phallically fascinated tonight. Started with dick and with
I
dick.
almost forgot that we started with the dick. Full circle.
We didn't start with it.
No, we started with the dick.
We did not start with it. Let me clarify that. We didn't start with the dick. That was you. Phrasing, by the way.
Next episode, Jesse comes out of the closet.
Finally. Everyone in his family is relieved. Thank God.
Took long enough.
We've been dealing with this for so long. All right. Well, we're at the hour mark. I'd still like the what we recommend thing. I like finishing with that.
Okay.
Just to tell people to go out and do stuff.
What we recommend.
First, shameless plugs, right?
Yes.
You got any shameless plugs? I know you probably do. I know I do. I'll start first because mine's less important than yours. 21st annual Hanover Chili Cook-Off in Hanover, Pennsylvania at Mao Field. It is on the Sunday before Labor Day, September 4th. Starts at 11 a.m. Please come on out.
You know that's actually our fantasy football draft as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it on that Sunday?
It's on that day.
Well, then I ain't going to be there. Screw it.
Captain Auto Draft.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I did it last year. I'll do it this year, too. I'll just make sure, because I'm the first pick, I'll just tell them who I want, and then from there on, it could be auto.
Okay.
So I didn't want Adrian Peterson. Come out to the Hanover Chili Cook-Off, Sunday, September 4th, 11 a.m. at Mouth Field in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Come out, see Loose Cannon Chili Consortium, where we're going to be in bright yellow shirts, which I just got in the mail, and they are fucking fantastic. They're out in my garage. They're amazing looking. I'll show it to you before you leave. Make chili great again on the back. We are all voting for Donald Trump. That's real. If you come out and support us and give us your vote, Jesse Swinson will mail you $17 American.
That's true.
In a check form that is cashable year 2022.
And actually, now that we mention it, the code word is chili. If you come up to me, and you can tweet me, you can Facebook message me. If you say chili, just the word chili.
How are they going to tweet you if they don't know your Twitter handle?
It's at Sessy Dwinson.
You have to spell that.
SESSEJWINSON.
I don't even think we follow each other on Twitter, by the way.
You have a Twitter? I have no idea.
My Twitter is pretty easy. It's at my name. At Joshua Gauker.
That's nice.
Super easy.
Good. See, mine was taken. See, because my name's Jesse Swinson, so I
Mhm.
just was like, oh, I'll be funny and do Sessy Dwinson. And it's just mostly confusing.
That's too bad for you.
But anyway, so, yes. Just
Chili cook-off.
tell me the word chili, and I will give you 17 American.
There you go. Chili Cook-Off. Come on out. See us. Vote for us. Wait for that check in the mail from Sessy Dwinson.
Yes.
It'll all be good. Jesse, what do you got to shamelessly promote?
I mean, I'm just going to keep on doing it because America. In a writing contest on inkshares.com. It's the Geek and Sundry Fantasy Contest. My book, The Axiom, in production.
In production.
Because everyone's like, oh, I want to read it. Can you just, send me the manuscript? I'm like, it's not done yet. It's on its way. But anyway, I digress. Go out there, give it a pre-order. It's $10. I'll fail. You'll get your $10 back. Let's be honest with you.
Come on.
But I mean, if I right now I'm at 20. I think I just hit the 20 mark.
There you go. What do you need to fail? What do you need to not get your $10 back?
230.
All right.
People.
So we are 200 away.
250 total. So I right now have 20. So I need 230 more.
Oh, so we need
or
230
the
more.
lead person in the contest right now has 105, I think.
105.
So
okay.
if I can get to that, then it gets automatically published.
That's good. All right.
Other shit.
So the whole 6 people that listen to this, if you haven't already done it, get on InkShares. Help Jesse out. The Axiom.
Like Josh, who has not pre-ordered it yet.
I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I have shared it multiple times. I've liked the page. All right. I'm sharing it with the people I know.
Just commit. Just commit,
right?
Gauker.
I'm not going to commit though.
You're not going. Why not? Just come on. Throw me
I
a bone.
probably will at some point. I just haven't gotten around to do it yet.
That's fair. That's
fair.
Understandable.
I'm lazy. Anything else to shamelessly promote? Your stand-up? You gonna be back out there again?
Yeah, I've been kind kind of on hiatus for a little bit because I've been busy writing shit. But I think I'm going to do it again next Monday, so come on out to the Lizard Lounge.
Lizard Lounge.
Yeah, Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Fly there. It's free. $2 slices of pizza. They're
Nice.
actually pretty decent, actually.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
bad. All right, cool. $2 slices of pizza.
But yeah.
Anything else to recommend?
That is all.
No? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just like the idea of, like, throwing out that kind of stuff. There's nothing specific I'd recommend right now. Like, there's no, like, something I'm super into. We talked about Preacher and stuff like that. That's over, actually. It's on break.
Did we talk about the end of Preacher?
The end of Preacher?
Yeah, did you see the end of Preacher?
Of course I saw the end of Preacher. I saw
Okay.
all the episodes.
We can talk about that.
Of course I saw it. The town was blown up by farts.
What? You just spoiled it without anyone... It was beautiful. It was fucking... I was so... Yeah, it was amazing. I'm just so happy about it, but I'm not going to...
So happy about it.
I really am.
All right. So that's our podcast this time. We're about hour 5, so that's about where we normally are at. It's not bad.
Not at all.
Two Guys Talking podcast, new format, episode 6, change it all up. Hopefully we keep this stuff going. So next episode, we'll do the same thing again. You'll see current events, world, national, local. Hopefully we'll have some more stuff to talk about. Local, probably not. Honestly, most local stuff's not going to be a big deal. Biggest deal right now is the Kathleen Kane thing, and I don't really want to get into that because that's just a whole debacle
It's
of
kind
bullshit.
of confusing, really.
She's dumbass. How's that sound? End
Yeah.
of thing. Beginning and end of thing. She's a dumbass. She's dumber than Ryan Lochte. But she has and she has a modicum of less power than he does too.
Oh, that's pretty funny. It's ironic.
Anyway, thank you for listening. Please tune in next week. We'll be doing the same thing. We record these live on Wednesdays. Maybe one day we'll get around to actually recording and posting live. If we get all that stuff worked out, we can do it over we could do it over Google Hangouts. But you'd have to have like some internet connection that's reliable.
Yeah.
If you can get an internet connection that's reliable and get like some kind of headset thing, which is pretty easy. You just get like a iPhone earbud and talk into it kind of thing. We can do it live. People would see our faces though then.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't want to do that, right? So anyway, maybe one day we'll post this stuff live. I'm sure we can once we get a web hosting site. We probably even post this live to the interwebs. But recorded on Wednesdays. Hopefully it's out on Thursdays or Fridays. Thank you so much for listening. It's on the Sloppdawgs podcast network, part of Sloppdawgs Worldwide.
Yes.
Visit our Facebook page. Come out to the Hanover Chili Cook-Off. Go to 8shares.com for Jesse. Hit him up at the Chameleon Club or the Lizard Lounge on Lancaster on Monday for a stand-up comedy routine. Help him out with that book, The Axiom, A Tale of Order and Chaos, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Pre-order his book. Demand payment of $17. Find him and say the word chili. Thank you for listening so much.
Yes, goodbye.
Have a good day. #welcome to the network.
#welcome to the network.
Stop button.